fresh out the box.
Fresh California plums.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Fresh Film Fridays, the podcast where two dudes pick the newest streaming movies or in theaters and discuss them. Today we're talking about 2021's Willy's Wonderland, which was directed by Kevin Lewis. I'm your co-host Alec.
I'm Justin, and today we have with us a special guest, Josh from For Nerds by Nerds podcast. How you doing, Josh?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming.
I'm excited to do this. I love you guys' show.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, dude. I listened to one of yours 2 weeks ago, though I do not remember the title. And then I listened to the episode where you reviewed all the foods.
Oh, yeah, with my dad.
That was pretty cool. Your dad's a funny guy. So before we start, I want to just touch up on this new segment that we're doing where the guest picks the movie. And I sent you, you're actually lucky, I sent you the biggest selection of options.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if you remember them, but there's like 7 choices. Why did you pick this one?
Yeah, it was a lot. This one wasn't even on there.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I picked this one because I had originally picked the new Resident Evil, but then it wasn't going to be out in time to rent. So
Yes.
I was like, I've been wanting to see this movie. I've heard very mixed things about it. And I remember seeing the trailer and being excited to see it. So I'm like, I gotta bite the bullet and watch this movie. So there's no better time.
Yeah, completely understandable. For some reason, Resident Evil is only $20 to buy, and we all know we've seen the reviews. It's not worth $20.
Which number Resident Evil is this?
Dude, this is like 9.
This
Is
is
it?
It's a reboot too, I think.
It's a reboot of the first and second movie into one, which it just didn't do well.
Oh, is Mila Jovovich still in it or not?
Nope.
Oh, what are they doing?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you picked this one then. Are you a big Nick Cage fan in general, Josh?
I was when I was younger, and then, like most people, I fell off, and now he's having quite the resurgence. So,
Well, Justin
Yeah.
never fell off, right? You've always been a Nick Cage guy.
I mean, we talked about in the Pig episode his big hits from the 90s, and then he did have like a span of at least 10 years where it was just garbage.
yeah,
Yeah.
You lose all your money and forget to pay your taxes or whatever happened to him. They repossess your dinosaur skull.
Yeah, dude, those taxes come out of nowhere.
I think I've watched more Nick Cage movies in the past 6 months with Pig, this, and Ghosts of the Pride Land, probably since the 90s. I seriously think I've watched more, which they're all kind of the same. I'm kind of getting that feeling now.
Yeah. Well, he has that new one coming out where he plays himself. Did you see the trailer for that one?
No. What is that?
Neil Patrick Harris talks him into going to an island to like perform for this. I don't know what he is, like dictator or something like that. But he's playing himself because he needs the money.
Okay,
That's
what's this
awesome.
called? Yeah, what's this called? Do you know?
I'm gonna have to look it up. No,
All
I
right.
don't remember. I need to see
Justin-
Pig though. Everybody said Pig was amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Check it out, dude. It's good. It's deep.
It's very good. So, Justin, you being the Nick Cage expert, obviously, of the three of us.
I do have my degree in cageology. So.
I know, yeah. So honestly, man, again, he keeps surprising me, even though he had no lines in this entire movie.
Yeah, so Josh, Alec and I have this rule about the podcast, and anyone who listens regularly, I tend to say this. We don't like to talk about the film before we record it. Every now and then, we slip up and say a couple things over text. I text Alec about the movie we're recording tomorrow, and he just said, I think you're going to like this one a lot more. And this one, Willy's Wonderland, I would classify, and I think Alec can agree, as a Justin film.
Yeah, it's a JF. It's a JF for sure.
It's a JF, and for those of you out there who don't know what a Justin film is, it's basically something that my close friend group would describe as a film where the majority of the world probably wouldn't like it, but Justin loves it, and I really liked it.
I also do another podcast, a horror movie podcast, and one of my co-hosts on there, Miles. We have a Justin. His name is Miles, and Miles likes a lot of garbage.
I think Miles and I. Does Miles like this one?
I don't think he's seen this one, but we were just running through our lists, and he said that the It from the 90s was outdated when he rewatched it, but he thinks An American Werewolf in Paris still holds up and is an amazing film.
He should check this out. But hey, let's jump into it. So I go by IMDb Reviews, and IMDb gave this film a 5.5.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's like pretty, I think that's fair. I mean, for a guy that has no lines in the movie and it's kind of repetitive, but like it's stylized and very badass.
A lot of people mentioned flaws, that there were some flaws within the story. And I'm going to read the reviews later because this is, without a doubt, the number one most commented post about a film on our Twitter thus far. I think I got like 30 comments, and only a few of them said that there were some flaws. And to me, I don't know what you guys found, the biggest flaw that I found within the story is if a tow truck dude was like, it's going to be $1,000 or you could work it off, I personally would just be like, nah, dude, can you just drive me to an ATM?
Right.
So,
Yeah, that tow truck driver is the worst actor in this entire movie.
give him a break, man.
Well, what did you think, Josh? I mean, Justin, we obviously know you loved it, but Josh, I mean, which way do you lean for this?
I would say 5.5 out of 10 is accurate. I didn't expect it to be like, I didn't know that it was this independent of a movie to the point of like we jumped all our money into getting Nick Cage and the rest kind of fell together. But yeah, I didn't expect him to not talk the entire time. I thought that it would drop out eventually, but when I got to the end, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. He never said a single line.
Yeah, I can't think of any other movie like that.
It is weird. Like the film style is a little like lower budget, but other than that, I mean, the animatronics look like animatronics for the most part, most of the time. And if you watch the trailer for this movie, it's everything that you would expect it to be.
That's good. That's good that it delivers. I mean, a lot of people get pissed off when, they see Les Miserables and they're like, I thought Anne Hathaway was in this movie.
I will say I did see all these comments that we're talking about, and it runs the gambit. And I do not agree with a lot of people that say this is a masterpiece or that Nick Cage's acting is extraordinary.
I'm honestly surprised. Dude, like Alec and I have reviewed some of like the best featured films of like the past couple years, and like we've gone Dune movies with huge famous actors, and then Willy's Wonderland, and people were my Twitter was blowing up today, dude. I know you saw them, Josh, because you were tagged, dude. So I spent the first like 15-ish minutes of this film wondering if this was kind of planned, right, by the town. And they had the spike strip in the road, so it's not like it's obviously someone put it there. The line that gave it away for me was when the owner said, I can't, or maybe it was the tow truck, I can't stand to hear a grown man scream. So they knew.
Oh yeah, I mean, you could you're getting hints from the beginning too. And Josh, you said you're a big horror fan. I mean, this is kind of like reminiscent of like Hills Have Eyes a little bit, where the town, it's like a trap. They're like setting the trap for them, but you do see the teenager rebelling against the cop in the beginning, and you're like, well, what's going on here? So that kind of reminded me of It too, where it's like the kids are aware of this greater evil in the town and they're trying to do something about it. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't say that I saw the backstory going the direction that it was.
No, for sure. But yeah, no, you're right though, Justin. It's definitely like there's something looming in this town, and we get to live through Nicolas Cage. I also love the energy drinks. Justin, you're a big energy drink guy. That must have been pretty funny for you.
Was it grape soda?
No, it's energy drink.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Punch you in the face with caffeine or something like that.
Me personally, I found all the little subtle things really good. Like the fact that he's taking breaks and he's actually cleaning the place. And even after he's been attacked, you notice he doesn't try and leave at all. Like he kills this demonic animatron thing and then he just goes back to cleaning. And I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, and at no point does he ever go, I'll just kill the rest of these things before they attack me. Like, he even stops the girl from attacking Willy because Willy hasn't done anything yet.
It's so funny. You think, like, he doesn't even react to being attacked by that, but then you're right. He's just like, well, I have a job to do. And then just goes back to doing it. Doesn't focus on anything else. That's so funny.
Oh, yeah. When he cut his cheek and he touched it and saw the blood, I immediately thought of the line from Dodgeball where he was like, nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
I know. That's probably what the things were. All right. So, that's my gripe with this. So the whole plot of this is basically like there was this serial killer and he hired all these other serial killers and murderers and whatever to work at this kid's Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing. And then they used essentially what they do in Child's Play, where they take their souls and put it into an inanimate object. So why were they still talking like those things? Why aren't they talking like themselves, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they were just taking over the role of the whatever those things were, like the Chuck E. Cheese type things.
Sure, but why not talk like yourself? Like that one guy had to pretend he was that like Siren Sarah person and have that high pitched like screechy voice. Like he couldn't just, be like, hey.
If this is your biggest question with the movie,
It's one of them. It definitely is one of them. That was something I was like, okay. Chucky can at least talk like Chucky still.
Yeah, well, at least why do they keep singing the songs and stuff? Because they can say whatever they want. They change the things they say all the time.
Right. Exactly.
I liked it. It added to the creepiness. Yeah, dude, like at first, first of all, I don't know where that gorilla popped out of in the bathroom. Like he looked in the stall. Yeah. He's looking the camera like covered all aspects of the stall. And then this gorilla just was like, blah, and pumped out of nowhere. It was just fucking him up.
Yeah. Teleporting gorillas. Yeah. I don't know. There have been other movies that I know this was compared to. That Banana Splits movie. Have you guys ever seen that one?
I have not.
I have, yeah.
How does it compare? I haven't seen it either.
I saw somebody comment and say that the Banana Splits movie did it better. I wouldn't say it does it better. I would say, because the Banana Splits was an actual show, and then they made a horror movie out of it. And in that movie, they are supposed to be animatronics, but at no point do you not think of them as people in costumes, because that's the point of them. They're not supposed to be animatronics. In this, they're supposed to be animatronics, and they actually look like animatronics.
Right.
Well, if you had to pick, Josh, I mean, are they similar enough to where you could compare them?
Yeah, they're comparable movies, but the Banana Splits movie is horrible.
So that's one for Willy.
Yeah, then. It's straight garbage. All the blood in it is just like red water.
Oh, okay.
Like there's one point and like somebody like gets ripped in half, but it's just like a flood. It doesn't even look like blood. It just looks like a Hawaiian punch is pouring out of her midsection.
Oh, does it have like a badass like Nick Cage character that you can like, follow or?
No, I'm pretty sure it was a sci-fi movie, sci-fi original from the Sci-Fi Channel. Yeah, but it was on DVD. I rented it from the Redbox, and I was like, this will be fun. And I mean, it's fun enough to watch, but it is stupid, and not in the way that this movie is stupid, but it's enjoyable for the reasons it's stupid. It's stupid, and it's bad.
Okay, so you got it from Redbox, so you were like, "Thank God I spent $1 on this."
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. I found it funny, dude. Like once the teens came into the building, like that's when the movie really popped off. You had that couple or whoever they were, like went off to have sex, which like I don't know how they were even thinking about that in that current building. And then, dude, I don't know. Like they looked like doofy like mascots, but they were kind of creepy when they wanted to be. Like when it got dark. And they were like rapidly moving through the restaurant. Like it was kind of creepy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when the siren was like crawling up the wall backwards, that was creepy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with any of these. But the fact that he doesn't give a shit. Why do you think they take their time like before they attack though? Why don't they just all attack them at once?
I mean, first of all, they're probably super overconfident because in the decades they've been doing this, like they haven't had any resistance. They're just slicing and dicing people up.
Right.
And then I don't know, dude. I mean, yeah, theoretically, why didn't all 5 of them just jump Nicolas Cage? I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same type of question of like, why didn't the police just burn the building down, and then the animatronics would have burned to death and died? Like,
yeah, I was thinking that as well.
They're like, we had to do this. We had to sacrifice people, and then Nick Cage just kills them pretty easily, and it's like, I guess you could have just done that.
Oh, yeah, the sheriff could have easily taken like 5 cops in there with guns and just shot all of them. One of my favorite parts in this was when the Weasel finished his song and you just see this massive sword from the night go through that kid. Dude, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it didn't hold back on the gore at all. Didn't they show a scene, like a montage of these creatures going into the town and killing people, though? Didn't they show that, or am I making that up?
Yeah, they went into, like, the hardware store.
Right, okay, so that kind of does justify why they were afraid, that they, like, okay, so they can come out, so maybe if we try to burn it, they'll, like, do something else. So, like, I can kind of understand that, I guess. But...
Yeah, I mean, I personally would just move away from the town. But yeah, it makes sense. It's like, if we just give you a person every now and then, you won't leave this building.
Yeah, it's like Van Helsing, Justin. Remember?
I suppose, yes, it is
Where they're like,
relatable.
hey, we'll give you one person to the vampires. Remember? You love Van Helsing.
I mean, a large reason why I like Van Helsing is because Kate Beckinsale's in it. But
Sure.
yes. Yeah.
But you're right. Yeah, you like the sacrifice. I get it.
Dude, also one of my favorite parts was when he was with the last remaining surviving girl and they were fighting that female one with a super long tongue and his brake watch went off
Yeah.
and he just handed her the knife. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's getting paid technically like $100 an hour to work overnight in this place because it's $1,000 and he's got to work the night shift for one night to fix his car. And he's taking a break every hour on the hour to drink a soda and play a pinball machine.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I thought they were going to explain something like almost like Crank, where it's like he needs to keep his like heart up for some reason, or else he's going to die. So that's why I thought he was like kept setting that.
No, he's just a dude who drives a very sick Camaro, ex-military because the camera kind of panned on the dog tags hanging. And I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, you have to admit this was one of his better films since when he was the big star in the 90s.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the dog tag thing, Justin, because apparently I was reading the IMDb. That's apparently supposed to allude to his character from Con Air. So this is like a quote-unquote sequel to Con Air.
So he got released from prison and then he just ended up here. How is this a sequel to Con Air?
It's been 20 years or so, almost 30 now, Justin. A lot of things could have happened.
That's like how they insinuate that Sean Connery in The Rock is James Bond, but they can't call him James Bond.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alec, what if Nick Cage, when he went into Willy's Wonderland, he was like, my daughter's birthday is July 14th.
Yeah, if he had talked at the end and he had a southern accent, I'd have lost my mind.
I love Con Air. Have you seen Con Air, Alec?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably been 15 years, but yeah, dude, it's him and John Malkovich, and is Steve Buscemi in that one too?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. No, it's a good idea for a movie. I like it.
I love Con Air, dude.
Put the bunny down.
It's such a good film, dude.
So yeah, so if he did have a southern accent, like, yeah, at the end. Oh.
Yeah. No, but I think this is a good movie if, I mean, guys, this isn't going to win any awards, but you throw it on the weekend, or if you're working and you're like, I need something stupid in the background, like throw on Willy's Wonderland.
It's short, it is really short. Another thing that I saw on the Twitter, which I haven't played, I love video games. I know you love video games, Justin, Josh. I don't know about yourself, but Five Nights at Freddy's. Have you guys ever played that game? Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what all of these are basically ripoffs of.
Dude, I haven't played it. And I'll read the comment from whoever said it later, but apparently you can get it on Game Pass.
Yeah, I think you can get there's been so many versions of it now, but I still think you can get the original version on your phone.
Oh,
really?
You're a nighttime security guard at like a Chuck E. Cheese place called Freddy'S, and you have to live through 5 nights as the security guard. But there's like all this weird stuff about like the animatronics move on their own, and are they possessed by souls, or was their kids' bodies stuffed up inside of the animatronics? It's so weird, but it is scary. Oh. And they were supposed to make a movie for it, and then it fell through. So when it fell through, everyone started making their own like knockoff versions, basically.
Oh, dude, you can get it on your phone. There's like 5 different games. This is crazy.
That's cool, though. I didn't know that that's kind of what inspired this, and maybe even that Banana Splits movie.
Definitely the Banana Splits movie.
Wow. So, okay, well, I know they have a VR version, which I always kind of look at. I'm like, I always thought it was like a Freddy Krueger kind of like nightmare game, but I didn't realize this is kind of what it is.
No, I've only ever played the original one. I know they've changed now, but the original one, you were sitting in a security office and you had control of like security cameras. And as long as you were looking at each animatronic, they wouldn't move. But the second you moved to a different camera, they would move.
Oh, shit.
And like you could shut your doors to the office, but you could only shut them so many times and for a certain amount of time. So like if you didn't do it right, eventually they'd just run in there and kill you.
Dude,
oh, wow.
I love horror movies. Like, I love them so much. But horror video games are the things that really scare me. Like Resident Evil 7 VR, like I can't play it by myself. I need someone else in the room with me. It's terrifying.
It is, yeah, it's creepy because the cameras will be moving too. Like they move back and forth. Like they would be in the corner of the room. Like you'll be in like the party room and you'll see like the duck animatronic just like sitting there. And then when the next time you come to the room, he's like standing in the middle of the room and staring right at the camera.
Okay, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah, I'm looking at screenshots and it's just like a bear looking at a camera.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, the first time I heard about this film was at my last job. My coworker was telling me about it because I was like, yeah, dude, I do like this podcast where we talk about movies. And he was like, have you seen Willy's Wonderland? Willy's Wonderland, it's with Nick Cage. And the way he described it to me, dude, I guess this might be the only film I've ever seen where where the main actor doesn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he described it, he was like, yeah, he goes into like this Chuck E. Cheese and like they come alive and try to kill him and he like doesn't talk. And I was like, that doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you have to see it, I guess, in action with the stylized music and the coloring and all that stuff. And I don't know. You don't need Nick Cage to talk. I guess everybody else fills it in.
Yeah.
The old lady too, or the cop, the sheriff. Did you notice she's that like mean lady from Donnie Darko, or the like old grandma lady from No Country for Old Men?
Dude, I haven't seen those in so long.
Yeah, no, I immediately noticed her and I was like, ooh, she's playing a different character. She's usually just like the mean teacher, or like the mean mom or whatever. But this, I'm like, oh, she's like a badass cop kind of.
Yeah, I've definitely seen her in like a million things.
Yeah.
Why do you guys think she asked for another police officer from another town if they have no intention of going to Willy's Wonderland? Like, what was that dude doing there?
Maybe if they decide to start going on a rampage and killing the town like they used to, like they don't know. Like, I mean, they ask like for this thing to be like, hey, like please stop killing everybody, but they don't know what the hell these are gonna do. They can do whatever the hell they want. So maybe when they know a sacrifice is happening, they need help and they don't have anybody else.
Right, because he's making double overtime, which I've never heard of. I've never heard of double overtime.
Golden time.
The dude's essentially making like $200 an hour just to sit there. And yeah, dude, the sheriff gave it away too that she knows what's going on, because when he called and the second they said they were in there, she hung up the phone and then she said like they've made their bed or whatever. Like she knew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder, maybe it was in case Nick Cage escaped, they could like track him down.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, get him back for Willy.
Yeah, and if worse comes to worse, like let's say nothing happens, but that other guy finds out, I mean, I guess they could just kill him, but then that would open up a whole investigation. But I don't know.
What'd you guys think of when he was handcuffed and had to fight the two animatrons? And then he very like casually back kicked that jukebox, and I was like, that was pretty slick.
Oh yeah, what was the song again that played?
Oh dude, shit.
I remember Freebird played at the end. I was like, this is cool. I like this.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't have believed they afforded Freebird.
I know.
It was like a kid's song. What was it?
That's right. It was like Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes.
Yes,
That's what it was.
Yes, it's so great. I was like, there's no way he can fight two of them with his hands tied behind his back.
Yeah.
And sure enough.
He just immediately like full body checks the siren to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he crushed its head with his knees. At first, the camera kind of is at a weird angle, and I'm like, what's going on over there? Like,
I kind of want to hear the commentary track to just see, like, how much did Nick Cage do his own stunts? But, like, even in that, he's just, like, method. And he doesn't talk the whole commentary track. You're like, this sucks.
also, one of the most badass scenes was when Willy's clearly the most powerful of the group, and he sliced the sheriff in half, dude.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh,
That was sick. There was so much blood that shot up.
yeah, I was not expecting that.
I like when the girl fought the Mexican turtle and she kept kicking him in the balls.
He spoke Spanish, dude.
What was his name? Was it like Tito the Turtle or something? The Tweedle.
Dude, I don't know, but when the turtle opened his claw and he had the shotgun shells, he's like, "Oh no!" It was great, dude. It was so good.
Have you guys ever in real life? Because so many movies do it, where like they hit the jukebox or like the power comes undone. It's like, or it gets like distorted or whatever. Have you guys ever seen that in real life?
No.
I'm pretty sure it would just cut off.
Right. I've seen it in like 8 million movies where like, a machine starts slowing down, really like the voice gets distorted or the music does that every time. I'm like,
Well, I know a record player will do that if it loses power, because like
It's spinning,
you can make
so-
a record player make noise just by spinning the disc yourself,
right.
like because it just is with the needle and the movement. So yeah, if it powers off, it'll wind down like that, but it's pretty fast.
Right.
I'm not sure where that started.
I know.
I think someone was just like, "This would sound creepier," and it just kind of rolled with it.
Because, yeah, it's like not real, but it's in so many movies. So I'm like, are they trying to act like this is a thing? Like, it's not real, but I don't know. It's just something I noticed during that scene.
Yeah, that's true. Again, that one of the last scenes in the film, which I just think it's so funny, and it's especially extra funny with Nick Cage in it, is when it's the end of the movie. He comes out of the building. They expect him to be dead. He doesn't say anything. All he does is hold out his hand to get the keys for his car. And I'm like, only Nick Cage could do this.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Even when he like nods when he doesn't talk, he's just like, like his whole body like moves as a nod. Or the ending when he's driving away with the girl and she's got the soda.
Yeah. She just assumes that she can like, she's like, hey, can I just like spend the rest of my life with you and you take care of me? And he's like, whatever, I guess.
That was a weird scene at the beginning when he like first sees her. They do this like back and forth thing, and I'm like, please don't tell me she's going to be his love interest. Like, Nick, you're way too old for this now. You can't be doing this.
There's a big age gap because I IMDb'd the cast and they're young. They're really young,
yeah, actually, I found out that the blonde girl who's like chewing bubblegum the whole time, she's currently dating Casey Affleck, I think, and he's
really
double her age. So speaking of that, I don't know. Yeah, that came up. That's the first thing when you press on her. It's just like, date Casey Affleck, like all this stuff.
Dude, both the girls were born in 98.
Yeah.
Josh, I don't know how old you are, but I was like 98. I was like, damn, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm 34, so yeah, it's always when I look. Every time I see stuff like that, I have to do like quick math to be like, is that young now or is that older now?
I feel like that's pretty young. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's whatever.
We're getting up there. That's basically what it is.
So yeah, I guess we're coming to the end of it. All we have left is the review section. Is there anything specifically you guys want to touch up on this film?
I'd like to see a sequel, maybe. I don't know. Let's see where this character can go. I mean, he destroyed Willy's Wonderland. He's got this new friend now, so I don't know. I'd be interested to see where this could go.
Yeah, let him free on a whole Willy's like amusement park or something.
Yeah.
What would this sequel be about? So he's driving off. Where does he go?
What if that girl is actually possessed by Willy, and then he drives somewhere else? But you know, Willy doesn't reveal himself to be fully possessed. The girl, so like the girl's like, he's like, oh, okay, she's cool or whatever, and they go somewhere else, and then he possesses a new cast of characters or something like that. I like your idea of the amusement park, though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not like the writing was the strongest part of this. It doesn't need to make sense.
Yeah, exactly. They go to Disney World or something, and it's like, oh fuck, like there's so many of them now.
Josh, can you recommend this movie?
Yeah, I'd recommend this movie. It's fun enough.
Okay, it's not like you recommend watching it, but it's not amazing, is what you're getting at.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's bad in a good way. You couldn't watch it and not enjoy at least some parts of it. Like every time he fights an animatronic, it's awesome.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you liked it, dude. I've been wanting to see this for a while now, and it's been on my Hulu list, and I keep scrolling by it, and I'm like, I've been meaning to watch it, and so I'm happy I finally got to see it.
Hell yeah.
So what we always do is, I know we spoke about the 5.5 it got out of 10, Alec.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think a 5.5 is good. Either a 5 or a 5.5. Yeah, right around there. I feel bad. I don't know. It's not going to blow your mind, but if you like these kind of movies, it's definitely one of the better ones.
Okay. Josh?
Yeah, I think they got it right this time. 5.5 is good. I mean, it's not a waste of an hour and a half. So, I mean, it's not super long. It gets right to the point. It's pretty well paced. So it gets you in and out.
Yeah.
Okay. Good point with the time. Perfect length, in my opinion. They could have easily messed up big and made this like an hour and 50, and it would have just been too long. Or they could have messed up and made it like an hour and 10, and it would have just been rushed. So I think it was like the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm. Why would you give it, Justin?
I would give it a 6.
Oh, that's lower than I thought.
Well, I mean, I can't give it too much because
I can't look at myself in the mirror.
Because I mean, it's not for everyone. I don't think the majority of people, if you sat down with your friends or family, are going to be like, wow, that was a cool movie. But I think if you appreciate films, or you're someone who's like a podcaster who watches films and looks deeper into it, I think you'll like it. Josh, before we get off here, do you want to tell everyone where they can check out your podcast, your website, all that stuff?
Sure. Before I do that Nick Cage movie I was talking about is called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Okay.
Wait, is that out yet? No.
It comes out April 22nd.
All right.
But I think it's gonna be in theaters. The bad guy is Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian.
Sick,
Justin,
dude.
we have our movie. There we go.
Because it is a cash-strapped Nicolas Cage agrees to make a paid appearance at a billionaire superfan's birthday party, but is really an informant for the CIA since the billionaire fan is a drug kingpin.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you got me. You got my $6, dude.
I'm in. Yeah, that sounds actually pretty interesting.
Awesome.
But yeah, I am the host of the Four Nerds by Nerds podcast, and I am one of 3 hosts of the horror movie podcast High on Horror. You can find Four Nerds by Nerds on Twitter at FMBN Podcast and on Facebook and Instagram at FMBN, the number 4 and the letter U. And you can find High on Horror everywhere at H on H Pod.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, yeah, it was really nice talking to you, Josh. Thanks for filling us in on your opinion on the movie.
Oh, hell yeah, boys. Thanks for having me. I'll have to get you on the show sometime.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for picking this so I finally could watch it and see the wonder that is Nick Cage is coming back. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Josh.
Thank you.
All right, man. Yeah, so dude, like I mentioned, in the middle of the day when I texted you and I was like, this is getting like a lot of engagement. I thought it would be like top 2, top 3. Dude, by the end of the day tonight while we're recording this is easily the most engagement on any movie of all over 150 that we've done on this podcast.
Oh my God.
I have 38 likes and 26 comments, which is, in my opinion, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And like I promised you guys, you all wrote great reviews, so I am going to read each one.
I think the reason, too, why people are interested in this movie is I'm sure not a lot of people are covering it, you know? So if you do like it, you're like, oh, shit. Like, especially me, whenever I find a horror movie that's, like, really obscure and people are talking about it, I'm, like, all about that.
I guess you could say that this film is a national treasure.
Oh, my God.
Because Nick Cage did that one, too.
I-
Okay, all right, here we go.
I'm aware.
Nerds Geeks Sync podcast said this was a fun, bloody romp of a movie. I get the Five Nights comparison, but this brings back the old satanic panic films of the 70s and 80s. Cage was brilliantly masterful without uttering a single word. The movie knew exactly what it is and leans into it full tilt.
Mm-hmm.
I scream, you scream for movies. This movie could have been called Five Nights at Freddy's, but I guess the title works, I guess. At Media Uncharted, Nathan Arell said, it's just dumb fun and it knows what it is. Cage is having the time of his life and brings great energy to an otherwise generic movie. I agree, dude. Like, it knows what it is. And I think it did a good job.
Yeah.
Comic Book Keepers, Five Nights at Freddy meets The Evil Dead. It shouldn't work at all, but it is hilariously entertaining. I could watch Nick Cage massacre animatronic monsters all day. I agree, dude. Like, we talked about a sequel. Like, let's go. Let's do it. Kevin Smith, Willy's Wonderland was my favorite movie of the year. Its haunted premise is enticing and its plot is gonzo. Kevin, I'm sorry, I don't know what the gonzo reference is, but I'm assuming it's good. Cage is
crazy. Doesn't it just mean like crazy? Like, oh, it's gonzo. Yeah, like, you know, like the Muppet.
The Muppet?
Yeah,
okay.
Gonzo. Anyways.
Okay, cool. Nick Cage is the man with no name was absolutely perfect, being as enraged as he is calm. The unsung hero of the movie, though, is the incomparable Beth Grant. Who was Beth Grant? Let me check that.
Who's Beth Grant? Beth Grant. Oh, I see her. Oh, yeah. That's what I was talking about earlier. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah.
She did a good job.
Yeah, dude. She totally stands out because, Justin, you've seen her. She's in a million things.
I have seen her. Honestly, she just kind of... I thought she was just another old lady.
Oh my God, she's the teacher from Child Play 2. We just did Curse of Chucky for next Monday. So yeah, I love her. I love her.
Infinity Bros, one of the best B horror films I've ever watched. Nicolas Cage is both hilarious and badass, and actually made me interested in playing Five Nights at Freddy's. I think we can both agree on that.
Okay, so a lot of common trends here with just like it knows what it is. It's very comparable to Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, that's kind of what I'm seeing.
Oh. 99% of the reviews loved it, and the other were mixed.
Yeah.
10 Cent Takes Felt like someone threw Five Nights at Freddy's, Child Play, and Jurassic Park into a blender, sprinkled it on one of the worst hairdos in history, and topped it with a $5 budget. I loved it. It was perfect. It was great, dude. Yeah, and Nicolas Cage definitely dyed his beard for sure.
Yeah,
He's old. Cult film companion podcast. It's okay, but I think the Banana Splits movie did this premise better. So I have to see this. I have to watch this movie.
Have you ever seen like the Banana Splits, like the original show?
Dude, I think so. When I was like a kid.
Oh my god, I'm trying to remember the theme song now. It's just like, oh fuck. Actually, I'm gonna look it up really quick.
Dissect that film. It was a wild Nicolas Cage ride. Never thought it would work, especially when he has no lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
This was a great Five Nights at Freddy movie. Without it being a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, overall 8 out of 10. That's a high score.
8 out of 10. I mean,
that's a high score. I liked it though.
It's just like, what are you comparing it to? I guess, or it's like Nick Cage movies, or just like in general.
It's kind of the first of its kind, dude.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? The first of its kind?
Like a no dialogue action / horror / comedy.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a first of its kind, but I mean, it's
in a league of its own. Movies for real. Movies for real. Was following this movie for a long time, so I was excited as hell and was lucky enough to get a screener to watch it early, and damn, I loved it. It was hard not to be able to speak about it. Nick Cage might not say a word, but damn, does he give it all. That's awesome. I hope to one day get access to view movies before they are available. Ebony said, Nick Cage expressions are the best. Never thought I enjoy a movie without him talking. Usually his dialogue is the best part, but Banana Splits did it better. Okay.
All right. I got the Banana Splits theme song. I just want to see if you recognize it really quick.
Yes.
It is insane. It is literally just a monkey. It's a bunch of people in suits, exactly like this, just throwing children up in the air from the late 60s.
You know what this movie reminded me of? Do you remember in Disney World, Magic Kingdom? I think it's called like the Country Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Musical.
Yeah.
Where like it's literally just like 10 bears with, they're not guitars, but they're like
banjos and stuff.
Yeah. And they have like bucktooth teeth and they're just like, do. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Those things are fucking creepy.
Yeah. It's like the Country Bear Jamboree or something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Our good buddy DJ Scoob. I'm totally going to watch this tonight. Look out, Five Nights at Freddy's. Awesome. So I hope you watch it. Hope you listen to this. The Ghost of Dr. Peter Cullen Bryan. Nicolas Cage raises a decent low-budget horror to something wonderful, though not in the expected manner, with a take on the drudgery and delight of the janitorial labor. Yeah, okay. I agree, dude. He definitely was cleaning the shit out of that place. Back in my day, we don't have a review, but we do have a what the fuck is this movie? And then it's a gif of Nicolas Cage saying how absurd. I liked it. And then this is pretty cool. There's this podcast called Blazing Minds, Alec, which we've been interacting, and they are an award-winning podcast in the UK. And they said, bonkers movie. I loved it. I also loved it. Thought it was bonkers. At It's Me, David Cross, which usually gives us reviews pretty frequently. He did an episode with Movie Films Flicks about this one. I call it a reverse slasher. Okay. That's fair. He loved it.
Oh, because it's like people are kicking ass to the murderers. Yeah.
I mean, essentially, the person who's supposed to be killed is doing the killing.
Yeah.
My buddy Hops Geek News. My review is this movie's absolutely amazing. Cage doesn't speak a word, yet he's absolutely mesmerizing on screen. And dude, I fucking love Nick Cage, man. Bottled Up Bitches, enjoyable, fun, and very camp. Had some loose threads in the storyline that I need a follow-up on.
There you go. Sequel. Wrap it up.
Sequel. I mean, this could be a trilogy, dude.
It could be a trilogy. Justin, it could be Fast and the Furious. 10. It could be 10 of them.
Nick Cage in space killing animatrons. Observations from life. Cage shows why he's the best at his craft. Never utters a word, yet makes you laugh, gasp, and love his performance. This is a fun one. At Chick Lit Pod. My husband pitched this movie to me as Five Nights at Freddy, but with Nick Cage playing himself. I was not disappointed. It's campy, funny, creepy, and will leave you wondering, was Nick Cage in on the joke? And I really like this last line because was he?
Just the joke of the movie or just
like he was just like not affected by the fact that, like, what was happening.
Well, it raises the question that, like, because there could be a prequel to this where it's like, we need you to go into this town. Listen, they're going to pop your tires. You don't say a word. You go in there. You take care of them. Like, that could, like, it's Jack Nicholson saying it, of course. Like, he's just, like, sitting there like, you're going to go and do this.
He's like he could be like a Liam Neeson. Like, he's like, I have a special set of skills, but he doesn't say that because he doesn't talk.
Right. But that could be why, you know, it's like he knew about going in and taking care of this. Possible.
Yeah.
Possible.
Geek Peak Pod, really fun concept. And Cage really makes the movie, although I wish they would have invested the necessary budget into their animatronics to make this movie truly brutal, or at least scary, worth the watch either way. That's the one thing I did notice is when the animatronics went from kind of like a person in a suit to kind of like graphic-y, like a computer. It was kind of, you noticed it, right? It wasn't just me.
Yeah, of course, dude. The worst thing I noticed in the entire movie, and which I know you liked, was when the guy got cut in half, but like that CGI looked horrible. Like,
I like this comment at VC Movie Podcast. Whatever they paid Nicolas Cage, it wasn't enough. Get this man out of bankruptcy already, dude.
We need to find out. Yeah, what was his pay for this? What do you think it was, if you had to guess?
Oh, dude, I don't even know. Do you even think it was like $1 million?
No,
right? I mean, there's no way this movie made that much.
No, well, so it doesn't matter how much the movie made. The budget's before that. So let's just, you know, it's a long ass podcast. Let's just fucking see.
Yeah, while you're doing that, we got Ryan Wilson. I fucking love this movie. So Wizard Podcast. Well, Emery Guns has it on his worst 5 of 2021. I don't know. He said, I'm in the same boat after he fights about 2 of the things. You've seen everything the movie has to offer. And there's still over an hour left to watch. Really disappointing, but at least the blonde girl is really, really hot.
Well, yeah. Okay, really quick. The budget was $5 million. So based on that,
okay.
What do you think of a $5 million budget? You know, now saying that it's $5 million, maybe $1 million isn't crazy, but
is there any way to? Can we Google that? Can we find out how much he got?
I have IMDb Pro, so I'll look into it, and if that is the case, we'll talk about it next
if
week.
It got a $5 million budget, I would like to believe he got at least $1 million. Considering, think about it. If you took Nick Cage out of this and put a different actor that like we don't really know, would you even see it?
I wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for the podcast. So it's kind of like, it doesn't matter to me. But if it was some unknown actor, like let's just say it was some random actor and people were watching this movie, it could have spread like crazy. You know, people could have just been like, it's this cult classic with a bunch of unknowns and it's blah, blah, blah. But the fact that Nick Cage is in it, it kind of becomes a Nick Cage movie where, so, you know, it made $445,000 back. So it didn't even make.
Wait, so they spent $5 million?
Yeah, it didn't even make $500,000 back. So that's a big loss. But yeah, I guess I mean I'd say you're probably right. Probably between $750,000 to $1 million for Nick Cage, and the rest probably just went to the set and the CGI, and the animatronics look good. So you know, there's probably just a lot of that. The other actors, I don't recognize almost any of them.
No,
except for
the sheriff.
Yeah.
The last comment we have here is at RidgeLife606. Best Nick Cage movie of the past decade, 100% because he doesn't speak a word of the dialogue, which that was kind of a backhanded compliment. I agree. One of his best in the last decade. Give the guy a break. Give him a break.
Jesus, Justin, you love this guy.
Dude, I mean, I just want Nick Cage to continue to make decent movies before something happens to him because he's getting older. I don't want people to remember him as like, yeah, he was in that shitty movie called Jiu-Jitsu that got like a 2.5. Like that's Nick Cage is not Jiu-Jitsu. He's not. He's Gone in 60 Seconds. He's Con Air.
Did you see Ghost of the Pride Land?
No, I want to though.
Yeah, you need to watch that. You need to watch that, Justin. I mean, like, again, I'm looking at this through your eyes right now. And you need to see that one. That one's, you're going to like that one a lot. His balls, Justin, that's all I'm going to say. His bows. Anyways.
Do you see his balls?
Something happened to his bows.
Okay, guys. So yeah, this comes out, I think this will come out on a Friday.
Yep, this Friday.
Also this week, we obviously had the Boba film. And then what comes out Monday of this week? What came out this Monday?
Yeah, so we had Screaming for Pleasure, which came out on Monday. We had Book of Boba Fett, which came out on Wednesday. We have this today, Friday. And then on Monday of this week, we have The Curse of Chucky with Eric and I on the Wheel of Horror.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
And thank you, Josh, at 4 Nerds by Nerds podcast. I think this was an awesome episode, and I'm really liking having the guest pick the movie.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm totally down. I'll watch anything, so let's do it.
Yeah, except for that damn podcast, which picked Power of Dog. But we'll get to that next week. All right.
Power of Dog. Oh, yeah, that's our next episode. Power of Dog.
Of the dog, yeah.
Power of the Dog. It's just a Dog the Bounty Hunter movie. All right.